Every single afternoon, a little girl named Maya sits down beside a Cane Corso named Titan. He weighs nearly 120 pounds, brindle-coated, broad-headed, his paws nearly as the size of a man's outstretched hand, built like something out of an old story about guard dogs and locked gates. And every single afternoon, he doesn't move. Not an inch. Not until she says he can. But to understand why a dog this size lets a baby do whatever she wants with his face, we have to go back to the day Emily brought him home. Titan had been at the shelter for almost 2 years by then. People walked past his kennel, took one look at his size, and kept walking. Some visitors even paused at his kennel only to ask the staff nervously if he had ever bitten anyone. "He's been here longer than any other dog we have," the shelter worker told Emily. "His breed scares people before they even meet him." Cane Corsos carry a reputation they never asked for. Massive, muscular, built for guarding property, not for nurseries. Most people saw the jaw and the shoulders and decided they already knew the whole story. Emily didn't. She sat down on the concrete floor of his kennel, and Titan walked over, lowered his head, and rested it in her lap like he had been waiting for her specifically. She signed the papers that same afternoon. When she brought him home to the little yellow house with paw prints painted along the hallway wall, the neighbors had opinions almost immediately. "A dog that size in a house with a baby on the way?" one of them asked her at the mailbox. Another simply crossed the street whenever she walked him. Emily listened politely to all of it. She nodded when it seemed necessary, and then she went inside and watched Titan curl up all 120 pounds of him into the smallest shape he could manage, right beside the nursery door. But what happened next would change everything. In those early weeks, Titan never pushed his way in. He didn't crowd the crib or pace around the nursery. He simply chose a spot and stayed there. On the floor, beside the bassinet, at the edge of the hallway just outside the door, close enough to know, far enough to give space. Emily's mother came to visit during the second week and stood in the doorway watching him. She didn't say anything for a long moment. Then she turned to Emily and said quietly, "I think I was wrong about him." Emily didn't reply. She didn't need to. She had already seen him lift his head every time Maya so much as stirred in her sleep, long before the monitor ever made a sound. Maya grew the way babies do, fast and suddenly, in ways that catch you off guard. One month she was a bundle in a blanket, the next she was pulling herself up on the couch cushions, wobbling toward Titan with both arms outstretched. He never moved away. He lowered his head slowly, let her grab his ears, let her lean her whole unsteady weight against his side. He accepted every clumsy pat and every small hand pressed flat against his ribs with the patience of something ancient and entirely certain of its place in the world. Then one evening, Emily was doing her nails at the kitchen table, and Maya, not yet steady on her feet, toddled over with a cotton swab dipped in nail polish and pressed it straight to Titan's nose. He went completely still. Not tense, not frozen. Still, the way something enormous goes still when it is decided, fully and without question, that this is exactly where it wants to be. And if this story is touching your heart the way it's touching ours, please take a second and subscribe. Every subscriber tells us these stories matter. Little did they know, this was only the beginning. It became routine after that. Every day, somewhere in that little yellow house, Maya would find Titan and decide he belonged to her for the next few minutes. Sometimes it was the nail polish. Sometimes it was just her small body leaning against his side while she watched the same cartoon for the third time that week. He let her use him as a pillow, a wall, a place to hide when she didn't want a nap yet. Moments like these are exactly why stories like this deserve to be told. Near the staircase by the front hall, Emily had installed a baby gate the week Maya started crawling, and without anyone teaching him to, Titan began sleeping directly in front of it every single night, like he had appointed himself to the job on his own. If that made you feel something, you're not alone. Neighbors who once crossed the street started stopping to ask about him instead, and one, the same woman who had warned Emily the loudest, showed up one afternoon just to sit on the porch and watch him work. People who understand this bond never watch just one video. Emily started to notice that Titan wasn't just tolerating Maya anymore. He was tracking her, every move, every sound, every direction she crawled, like he had a job no one had given him. There was one evening, not long after that, when Maya had been fussy for hours, the kind of fussy with no clear cause, the kind that wears a parent down completely. Emily had tried everything: feeding, rocking, singing, walking her up and down the hallway. Nothing worked. She finally set Maya down on the living room rug and sat beside her, feeling, just for a moment, completely out of ideas. Titan got up from his spot by the window. He walked slowly and lay down right beside Maya, not on top of her, not crowding her, just close. His massive, warm body curved gently around her small one. Maya stopped crying almost immediately. She reached out one hand, rested it against his side, and within a few minutes, she was asleep. Emily didn't move for a long time. She just sat there, watching her daughter breathe against the side of the dog everyone had told her was too much, too big, too dangerous for a baby. And then, one afternoon, at exactly 2:17, everything changed. Emily had stepped into the kitchen for less than a minute, just long enough to answer the phone. Maya, faster than anyone expected, crawled straight for the hallway and the staircase beyond it. The gate had been left unlatched that morning, a small human mistake, the kind every parent makes once and never forgets. Titan was there before Emily even turned around. He didn't bark, he didn't lunge, he simply lowered his massive body directly across the bottom step, 120 pounds of dog forming a wall that Maya could not climb over, no matter how hard her tiny hands pushed against his side. She patted his fur, she fussed for a moment, frustrated, and then she gave up, turned around, and crawled straight into his shoulder instead, staying there like that had been her plan all along. What Emily saw when she turned the corner, she will never forget. She found her daughter sitting against the very dog the neighbors had once warned her about, safe, calm, laughing at nothing in particular, while Titan lay perfectly still across the stairs, like he had always known this would be his job. Emily didn't say anything at first. She just sat down on the floor beside them both and stayed there a long time. She thought about every warning, every crossed street, every person who had judged this dog by his size before ever once watching him work. None of them had seen this. None of them had seen what 120 pounds of patience actually looked like when it mattered. None of them had ever sat on the floor with him long enough to find out. From that afternoon on, the gate stayed exactly where it was. But so did Titan. Because some guardians don't wear a uniform and they don't ask for credit. Some of them just choose a spot by the stairs and never leave it. Would you trust a 120-pound Cane Corso with your baby, or would you have crossed the street too? Tell me in the comments.